Alright, Shibuya, good luck at your next place. It's unfortunate that you became ill, but don't push yourself too much. If you ever need anything, you can contact me at any time.
Mr. Aono, thank you very much. Thank you for looking after me during my time here. My name is Ryo Shibuya, 29 years old. Until this moment, I had been working at a so-called major company. But a few months ago, I suddenly started to experience dizziness and hearing problems. And when I went to the doctor, they told me it'd be difficult for me to continue when working in such a high-pressure company environment. And today, I officially resigned. Well then, I guess I need to prioritize my own life now and live my life. After all that, I really did work hard these last 7 years. Of course, I was upset about it, and when I thought about my life ahead, there were nights that I became so uneasy that I couldn't sleep. The company where I was working was a major candy manufacturer, and although it was a high-pressure environment, I felt a reward in doing my work, and it was a fun job that I liked. At the workplace, I was told that I would definitely get promoted soon, and I also thought that to be true too. And in the 7 years since I started working there, I actually did produce a lot of results, and they rewarded me accordingly.
Hey, why are you standing there? Stop slacking on your work!
I'm sorry. I was just getting a little dizzy. The sudden dizziness and ringing in my ears started troubling me about a few months ago during work.
You pretend like you have skills, but in reality, you're really not all that. You're just over your capacity.
And can you please keep it down a little? For about 2 months after it started, I was trying not to let it bother me too much. But the dizziness and ringing in my ears was becoming too unbearable that I went to the doctor. Does that mean that you left the symptoms for a while after they started? I was so busy with work that I wasn't able to find time to come. There are illnesses that require immediate attention and treatment. You need to prioritize your health more. According to the doctor and my own symptoms, it was declared that it would be dangerous to continue working at my current company. And regretfully, I was left with no choice but to make the decision to resign.
How unfortunate. With this, no matter where you end up going next, you'll probably never get promoted. You only have yourself to blame for not being able to take care of yourself. Your life is over.
As for my colleague Kuzusumi, who was never able to win against me at work, he was happy that I became ill and had to resign. But no matter the reason, it meant that I may have lost in the battle. There was no way that I wasn't upset about that. That being said, if I push myself now to the point of no return, then there may not be anything left at all. When I thought about my future, I was so uneasy that everything in front of me looked pitch black. But in order to try to have a change of heart, I decided to interview with a few companies. And then there was a small company downtown that gratefully still hired me after I spoke to them about my medical condition. It was a small homing company, and I decided to work there. It's a completely different scale and approach from my previous company, but the type of work is still the same. That company was also a candy manufacturer that makes seasonal candies for candy shops, department stores, and boutiques. The CEO who interviewed me seemed like a really warm person.
Our company barely has any overtime, and you can relax plenty on your days off, too.
Thank you very much.
Well, speaking to you is really interesting, Mr. Shibuya. I could tell that you've been working with a lot of passion at the major candy manufacturing company. From today, you're going to be making candies together with us now.
I look forward to working with you.
Do you like jellies and gummy candies?
Yes, I love them. In my new workplace, I'm going to do what I can within my ability. However, on my first day at my new job, This company that I joined as a mid-career hire was a candy manufacturer founded over 60 years ago. There were only about 30 employees total. There are 8 part-timers, and the main department where I was designated to had about 12 employees hired. Other than that, everybody else was working at the factory, but... if you have the data from Company A where I can compare last year and this year's orders, I'd like to use it as reference.
Oh, looks like we don't have last year's data. Sorry.
What?
The other day I spilled coffee on it on top of my desk. Sorry.
That's such a company loss.
Mr. Shibuya, you also have an illness, so there's no need to push yourself. Would you like to try our new product, the pudding?
Yes, thank you very much. The CEO and all the employees are all great people, but there was one problem. In the main department, people were separated into sales and planning and development, but both were managed in an analog way, and it seems that none of the data was organized. Sir, pardon me, would it be okay if I turned some of the paperwork into data? I was thinking it may be useful for future research.
I'd be grateful for that, but you don't need to push yourself to do it.
That's right, Mr. Shibuya. Please don't push yourself, and anytime you feel tired, you're welcome to take breaks as you go along.
Thank you very much. This was the CEO's daughter and employee, Miss Yuria Fukamachi. She was especially thoughtful about my well-being, and she often came over to check in on me like this.
If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate and you can always come to talk to me.
Thank you very much. To be honest, in the beginning, I thought it was amazing that this company was able to maintain such good business when the internal material organization was like this.
The chestnut dumplings and potato cakes that you just launched had great sales. I'll send you the items that we want to order from the catalog next month later.
All of our business partners were also companies that we've been working with for many years. There was a lot of depth to the relationships. This is interesting in a different way from my last company. And then, after about 3 months passed since I joined the company, I was able to work efficiently in the office. In between my responsibilities, I was turning some of the paperwork into data, and I was just trying to make the work more efficient. But then... Yes, I did! From now on, all you have to do is input these numbers into this file, and I think that it would decrease the amount of work that everyone has to do.
This is amazing! Sometimes I spend the entire day out, and I tell myself I'll file the paperwork tomorrow, and tomorrow it just piles up. Does that mean that you were going on organizing all the data, Mr. Shibuya? You're amazing!
Seriously, it's a huge help.
Well, I can see why you were working at such a major company before. You really are amazing, Rio.
Not at all. Over the last 3 months since I joined this company, I've been able to properly relax on my days off, so my health has been more steady. And I'm truly glad that I was able to work here. Thank you. Everybody was grateful to me in the company. And about 6 months after I joined, I was living a life without any stress from work.
Thanks to you, Mr. Shibuya, I was able to do my work more smoothly. And now instead, I don't have enough work anymore. But does anybody have any good ideas?
Exactly! Thanks to Mr. Shibuya and his sales client list, I'm still succeeding in getting new clients, and I also have plenty of time left over after that. I can focus on something else too.
Me too. Recently, all of the new product development had been a huge hit thanks to Mr. Shibuya's advice, and our orders are only increasing.
Actually, I've been doing a little research into the marketing tactics of other companies. I've had an idea. Because our company has the advantage of being close to all of our customers, I wanted to ask what you thought about putting more effort into our OEM. Even currently, I'm sure that some of the boutique shops ask us about product packs or sets that we could offer for special occasions.
I see.
That's a great idea. It's true, a lot of the supermarkets and other businesses ask us about small set packs and prices for when they have events.
Exactly. If we can make that happen, and it seems like we'll be able to receive orders from prepackaged sets of the candies in addition to the regular orders that they place with us.
That's amazing!
And then, that suggestion was a huge hit. We had always been selling sets of our company candies in a pack, but this time, we secured a number of partner manufacturers to be able to sell candy sets with more variety than ever before.
Well, that was a brilliant idea.
This bakmunchen cake is so delicious.
It's great that we were able to work together with other candy manufacturers, and we were also able to introduce a baked sweets division that we hadn't had in our face before. I never imagined that the day would come for us to be making baked goods.
After 1 year of being in the company, it had nearly doubled in revenue and was continuing to grow.
Mr. Shibuya, what do you think about this?
Mr. Shibuya, this is the plan for the new product, but what do you think? Mr. Shibuya, this is the sample for the new product. Can you please give me your thoughts and advice on it?
The workplace was truly always positive. For someone like me who was always competing until then, I was truly able to work comfortably and at ease in this company.
Mr. Shibuya, here's your coffee.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Rio, you want to get a drink with me tonight after work? The Japanese sake jelly at this restaurant is really delicious, and I thought it might give us some good ideas for the next product development.
Yes, I'll go.
I think I'll join you guys.
I'd also like to join.
Me too.
I often went out to eat with my colleagues from work too, and I was living a life that was completely different from when I was at my previous company.
Mr. Shibuya, may I walk with you to the train station?
Yes, but wait, where's the CEO?
Apparently, he's going to go for one more drink with Mr. Namuta.
Oh, really? It's gotten pretty warm lately, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Mr. Shibuya, how has your health been since joining our company? Are you sure you're not pushing yourself too much?
About that. In my previous workplace, when I first started getting dizziness, I would get ringing in my ears and clouded vision multiple times a week, and it was a struggle. But ever since I started working at this company, maybe because I've been able to rest properly, I only get dizzy a handful of times per month, and the doctor has said that my symptoms have really settled. However, he did say that it's a condition I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life.
Mr. Shibuya, if I remember correctly, didn't you say in the office before that you're not dating anybody right now?
Yes, that's right. About that, when I was at my previous company, I thought that the reason why I wasn't able to get a girlfriend was because of the workload and how busy I was. But since I still don't have a girlfriend, I think it's simply that I'm not popular. And plus, because I also have my illness, recently I've started to think that maybe I'm okay with being single for the rest of my life.
To tell you the truth, ever since you joined the company, I've liked you, Mr. Shibuya. I like how smart you are and how everybody can rely on you. So, inclusive of your illness, I would like to be your support, Mr. Shibuya, if you would be willing to have me.
What? Are you sure you're okay with me? My symptoms may be settled now, but before I came here, my illness was honestly pretty bad. And during that time, there were days that I wouldn't be able to get out of bed for days. And there's no telling if days like that might come back again or when.
I would love to be your support. Would that be okay with you?
I would be the happiest man ever. And in that way, I got in a relationship with the CEO's daughter, Yuria. Before I started my new job, I thought that my life ahead was probably going to be quiet and alone, but...
So, I heard that you're going to do the favor of dating Yuria. Are you sure? That you're fine to settle with this? If it's you, Rio, surely you'd be able to date someone much more refined and beautiful than her, though.
Hey, Dad, please don't be so rude. What are you going to do if Mr. Shibuya changes his mind about this?
Never. And if anything, she's far too good for me.
Is that so? Well then, I suppose that means that in the future, you're gonna be the one to take after this company, Rio. In that case, our company future is set to be a success.
Our relationship and the potential for the future was celebrated by the CEO and my colleagues. And 1 year later, I was engaged to Yuria. By the time 2 years had passed since I had joined the company only continued to increase its business scale. And we expanded to have 4 sales offices, as well as 1 additional factory as well. And then, the same woman who told me she wanted to support me that day was now living with me. And she really is supporting my life in every way. I really am so glad that I changed companies to here, even though back then I was full of anger.
Rio, have you taken your medicine?
Yes, I have. And at that turning point, I was at a client company to attend a business meeting, when by pure coincidence, I ran into my former boss from my old company.
Rio, you look like you're doing well. At the time, you really seemed like you were struggling, but now you look a lot healthier than you used to.
Mr. Aono, long time no see, sir.
I heard that you're working hard at Fushigi Manufacturers. The rumors have even reached our offices. You were featured in that industry article, and you took the interview with your CEO, didn't you? I read it.
Oh, thank you very much. My current workplace is full of new ideas. Every day feels fresh, and I've been enjoying working there.
Fushigi Manufacturers are small, but both the flavors and the reputation are both great for a candy manufacturer. So I think you moved to a good company.
Thank you very much. How's everyone in the department? Are they doing well?
Yeah. That reminds me, you remember Kuzuzumi, don't you? He actually resigned last month.
What?
The major company that he took over from you when he left, he made a mistake that there was no recovering from, and they terminated their contract with us.
What? Oh, really?
Even after you left, he was speaking poorly of you in a pretty loud voice around the department, so he'd already made a lot of enemies in the office. And after that mistake, I think he wasn't able to stand being there anymore.
After catching up with Mr. Aono that day, we promised each other to get a drink together someday, and then parted ways. When I heard the story about Kuzuzumi resigning from the company, it didn't make me feel better at all. However, it did make me think about how happy I truly was now. I'm back for the sales meeting! We were able to secure a large contract! Yay!
Great job, Mr. Shibuya. I'll pour your coffee now.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Rio, can you try this new product while you have your coffee? Is it good? It's the one I developed myself.
This is great! Is that mochi inside of this? It's got texture and it's delicious.
Actually, it's white mochi, but we had trial after trial and got it to this product.
This is going to sell for sure.
Isn't that right? Isn't that right? I was thinking about giving them as many gifts at you and Yuria's wedding.
Oh, so that's not a product that sells a company then? That following spring, Yuri and I got married. The CEO absolutely insisted, and our wedding cake was adorned with candies from our company. And he kindly provided the most gorgeous, luxurious wedding cake I had ever seen.
I'm the happiest woman.
I swear to make you happy. At one time, I was in the middle of the darkness with no light in sight. But thanks to this company and Yuria, I was able to live a bright life full of light now.
When quitting the job, it's true that you can feel a heavy devastation, but the skills that you learned there were never a waste. As the saying goes, you are a product of your experiences, but there's no such thing as a wasted experience. That's how I felt watching this. Well then, bye-bye!
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications.